Everywhere I look, everything I see, it's just all a repetitive notion, a repeat, a rerun. The same thing, the same words, the same thoughts. I see it. I see the repetitiveness in everyday lives and how every day it's put before me a choice to make right in front of me, the left hand and the right hand. And yet, I feel not a burden, but I feel I see the desire, the want from people, from God's children, the want, the knowledge, the know-how. Like if it comes with instructions, and that's not it. Because if you want something, you can always get it what you want. And it's not the way you're going to want it. The devil will reward bad behavior. And because you see something and you want it, you may just always be used to always getting what you want, but that's not the case in this scenario with me and my truth and what I know. This is my destiny. It's who I was created to be. It was always meant for me. My destiny is written in the stars. My place in the heavenly kingdom cannot be stolen, cannot be duplicated, it cannot be replaced. Nothing. Everybody has their own destiny. And I come across so many people that I'm always welcoming with open hands, as God welcomed me. And I just see them the way I was programmed to the world, as I still am to this day. And I catch it. I catch me doing the same repetition things over and over. I see the bad attitudes and behaviors and the cycles repeating, and I try to stop, and I pray and I rebuke the devil, because it's all just a distraction. This desire to know the know-how of what I know and who I know and how I'm getting this. It comes from Father God. It is written. It's my destiny of who I am, and I stand in my truth. I can't teach it to you like instructions. Yes, some are destined to be great things. Some people are walking in their destiny today. Some people have been humbled. Some people have learned who they are. Some people have been who they were since day one. Some people have learned their lessons and they overcame them, and they have what they have, and they're happy and they're prosperous because they overcame and they trusted and they believed and they had faith. They never gave up. You can come to me for advice. You can come to me if you need to. I can't save you. I can't give you every answer, because there will always be something different from my journey to yours, because we're not the same person. It's not instructions I could just give you, do this, do that, and you'll be here where I'm at and you'll know what I know. It's not something that is just given. It's earned. It's earned. Because God sees your heart and the position I have. God says, I'm going to cry out. He says the position I have, nobody's ever had it. It was made especially for me, and I believe that with all my heart. That's why it took me so long to figure it out. But the point is that I took the initiative to figure it out. Everybody wants to know, but nobody wants to do the work. Everybody says they know how they can work real hard, but nobody wants to work on healing themselves. Nobody wants to work on discovering who they really are, and they don't have to. But you can't have it easy, because this destiny, this placehold that I live in and that I stand in is mine. No one else's. It doesn't mean that God doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that I'm this self-righteous angel that's perfect and innocent. No. It means I know who I am. And if you want to know who you are and what gifts and purpose lie within you, you have to discover. You have to go down that rabbit hole. You have to figure it out the way I did. And it comes at a time when you're so desperate, when you've did it all in the world, and you've lost everybody, and you've rock bottom, when you don't know what else to do, and you've tried everything in the book to fix your mind, fix your heart, fix whatever it is that's is troubling you. Even if there's nothing troubling you, you have it all, and you still can't find that little bit of peace, that little puzzle. Even when you can't find it, that's how you find it. You go searching for it, you go seeking for it. It's not on Google. It's not something that's instructions like, It doesn't come with directions. It doesn't come with instructions. You got to stop thinking logically and open your heart and open your mind. Be open-minded to things. You got to look for the signs, because God leaves signs every day. Your ancestors leave gifts and signs for you every day. If you just look, you have to want it. I can't persuade anybody. I can't save anybody. I can't change anybody. You are who you are, and that's what it is. When you accept who you are, stand in your truth, you'll understand you are made that way for a reason. You are who you are for a reason. As soon as you accept who you are, and you don't have to compare yourself to anybody, you detach from things of the world, you're stronger. When you stop living in fear, you're stronger. Stop worrying about the coulda, woulda, shouldas, what might happen, what could happen, what would. Hold on. As soon as you stop sorry, I heard some little kids yelling. As soon as you stop focusing on how everybody's doing this and who has what, and start focusing on how you can get it for yourself, it doesn't mean in a competitive way. It means God has a special blueprint that's just yours. Nobody can repeat your story. Nobody can take what God has written for you. It's written in the stars. What you've been stripped away from is for your own protection. Rejection is protection. He's clearing your path for you to understand. You questioning it just in itself is enough to shift the world into higher vibration, because you have that need to want to know. The fact that you want to know already points you in that direction. Embrace it. Embrace the changes. Embrace the unknown. Embrace the things that you are fearful of. If you're fearful where you're going to sleep, if you're fearful of the people you're going to lose, then stand in that fear and embrace it. And understand that not everybody is going where you're going. Your path is your path. There's only one of you. This is mine. This is mine. I'm not gullible. I'm not a pushover. I'm not to be taken for granted. I'm not to be taken advantage of. I don't fight dirty. I'm a light worker. I fight with love, light, and the truth. The truth is the word, from the body, the Bible, His word. Because only He is perfect, not me. I make mistakes every day, and I stand in them. I'm not competitive. As soon as people detach from earthly things, they'll start seeing the heavenly things. You can't hear or see the heavenly things because you're too attached to the worldly things. If people don't like you and they don't have no reason to like you, or even if your behavior is if no one ever understands you or likes you, it's because the world doesn't like what it doesn't understand. The world loves worldly things. If you're not of this world, you're only in it. The world's not going to understand you. People you've known your whole life could sit across from you and tell you they believe you, and they will not believe you when it comes down to it. When times get tough and things hit the fan, they'll turn on you. And you'll never want to believe it's the people that you've spent every day of your life with, the people that you love the most. You don't ever want to believe it's them, and it is. Because the devil's not stupid. He'll use the people who know you in and out to get to you. He's not going to waste his time using a stranger to hurt you. He's going to use somebody who knows you in and out, someone who could get next to you, somebody who knows you and knows your vulnerabilities, knows your weaknesses, knows how to play on your emotions. He's going to use them to hurt you. Because when God created us, he didn't create bad people. But the devil knows how to play off our weaknesses, our pains. And he uses it to his advantage to hurt others. But if you know God, you know he didn't create us to be angry, hateful, or mad, or jealous, or envious. That's an evil spirit you got to rebuke. You have to be stronger than that. Everything the way people are living now is all based off fear. Fear of getting sick, fear of going to jail, fear of losing something, not paying their bills, fear of not eating, fear. When you stop living in fear, which is false evidence appearing to be real, and you just start accepting it is what it is. If you start seeing the world for what it is, that the world was created for us to provide whatever we needed, and you put your faith in God, it's not about religion, it's about your faith. You'll see things from a different perspective. If you want to know, you'll ask. If you seek to know, you'll go to the end of the world to try to figure it out. You have everything in the palm of your hands. It's like God says he has the world in his hands. He has you in his hands. I would spend the rest of my life searching for my own truth than to die, not ever even have tried. I'd rather not, I'd rather spend the rest of my whole life suffering on this world, learning who I am, than to be rich and die never knowing my truth. That's scary. That's something to be fearful about. Never knowing who you really are. Because anybody can get a job. Anybody can work. Anybody can make money. Anybody can do a lot of things. But nobody wants to heal. Nobody wants to confront the truth. Nobody wants to face the truth. Nobody wants to seek the truth. Nobody wants to heal. But everybody wants to point. Everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to compare. It doesn't mean nothing to God if you don't have faith. Everything you do, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you have faith. As long as you're not harming innocent people. You have to believe. You have to want to go down that rabbit hole. You can't just expect something, want it, see it, want it, and think you're going to get it and try to go to the depths of hell to get it through lying, through being devious, through spell. You're not going to win. The dark never wins. God always wins every time. Evil never wins. We all have dark and light within us. It's up to you to decide what you want to be. When you find the balance in between, you find stability. When you can get yourself grounded, you'll find stability. When you have stability in your life, you could think clear. You're living your fullest self, your fullest conscious, your full awareness, You're living in your fullest presence with full awareness. And making choices based strictly off your conscious mind, not your brain. Your brain is programmed. Your brain is mush. Your brain is programmed to the world and worldly things. And that's okay if you choose that. You can choose that and God will not be mad at you. Because we are who we are as he created us to be with free will. Enjoy your free will. Stop worrying about what you have or what you don't have. Stop trying to keep up with everything and the Joneses and all that stuff. It's all a repetitive cycle. It's insanity. Insanity to try to figure it out, thinking that if you have a home and a car and a job and a wife and a dog that you're done for. You're not. And if you think that creating working all your life and passing down that is a legacy, you're wrong. Working till you die to have worldly things and self-enslavement and then teaching your children. You think you're passing on a legacy, but you're teaching your children how to work for the rest of their lives. For worldly things they cannot take with them when they die. Teach them to appreciate the world, to take care of Mother Nature, to take care of the earth, to be fully aware in conscious state of mind, to be mindful, to be forgiving, to appreciate the little things, to be thankful and grateful, to always give God all the grace and all the glory, give it to the Most High, always, because you wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for Him. God says we celebrate birthdays, we celebrate certain days, we pay homage to certain stuff, and we pay homage to things that don't matter. Our pets, people, music. We have these false idols. He says you have to give the grace and the glory, all of it, to Him, because nothing would exist without Him. Believe whatever you want to believe, the light or the dark, but it exists because He allows it to exist. You only believe because you're allowed to believe. Accept and understand that. If you want something more, you got to go down the rabbit hole and look for it. You cannot find the light without the dark. The light cannot exist without the dark. The dark cannot exist without the light. You can't just think that you're going to want something because somebody else has it. On the physical world, in the 3D world, it serves you no good. It's always short-lived fulfillment. The spiritual world, who I am has never been known before. Who I am, the position, the rank I hold, nobody's ever had it before. And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it because I know who I am. I learned who I am. Everybody's somebody. Everybody matters. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody's needed in this lifetime to help the world for God's divine purpose. Stop fighting each other and fighting against everybody and competing and trying to figure it out through copying or through, because God says, thou shalt not steal. Would you try to take that someone else's hard-earned work? It'll only be fruitful for a season. And after it's fruitful for that season, God will rot that tree to the root. And it'll never produce fruit again. That's why all our money ventures are short-lived. They don't last. Because they're not meant for you. So you go on this journey of chasing the bag and chasing the bag. You are forever chasing the bag and you're never living. Because you don't get to enjoy it, because then you're back to trying to get it again. Or when you do get it, you're tied to things that make you live life a certain way and not freely, not by choice. You have to, because you have to pay your bills. You have to do this. If you think that, you believe that, you want that, you'll have it. You just don't think anything else. It's what you learn. It's what was passed down to you. It's what you think is the right thing to do, and it's not wrong, but it's not the only way. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so competitive with others. There's only one of you. Nobody can do what you do. Nobody can know what you know. Nobody has the battle wounds like you. You have the receipts. You have the scars. Nobody can tell your story but you. It's one of a kind. You're unique. They can copy. The copycat can't outdo the original. You know what I'm saying? When you go on that path to figure out who you are, you're not on this mentality of thinking like the world thinks, trying to prove something, trying to show off, trying to show out. You don't have nothing to prove because you are detached from people and things. You know who you are, and it's up to them, to people. It's not for you to persuade anybody or convince anybody. It's up to them. If they want to know, they'll take the initiative the way you did, the way I did. And in that, you're walking in purpose. In that, The bag is guaranteed because you're taking the long road. You're healing first, and then you're getting the prosperity. If you get the prosperity first, you're not fully healed, and then you just end up, you know, it blows up in your face. It ends up more money, more problems, like the song, right? Or something like that. You know how it ends. You know how it ends. Because we don't have that self-control. We don't have that discipline. We don't have that, the knowing. We have it in us. We just don't use it. The knowing. The initiative to want to do better and be like God. And even when we can't, loving ourselves and forgiving ourselves for what we can't, because God made us this way. Getting that understanding of acceptance. You have a great story to tell it, but it's your own story. And it's not to prove to anybody. For you to stand in it and own it. And in that you lead. You overcome. You learn. The student becomes the teacher. And you learn and you can help others. Because nobody has a story exactly like yours. Yeah, take care and God bless.